It's Friday!
Yay!
Durr!
Oh, don't bring it into this!
You guys won't hear us talking about Durr, but it was a thing on the show today.
There's a thing with traffic, and
There
Obi
was
won't
a
stop.
dirt road, and I was like, Durr! And Nikki's like, you need to stop it!
He can't stop it, though. He literally can't.
I'm stuck in Durr world.
But hopefully you guys are ready, or if you're listening to this during it, having an amazing weekend.
This will shock you, but there's a lot of food talk in here.
There is, and I think we own up to it. We
Taco
get
Bell,
it.
Burger King, coffee stuff, a jetpack class, Chef Kevin. Wait till you hear about Chef Kevin.
Chef Kevin and Kangaroo.
Let's see. Christmas lights, winter, Boss Baby.
Well, outside of Boss Baby, everything else has been just the normal stuff.
Nothing. It's fine.
Nothing
whatever.
too weird.
We also find out what is the thing that you want more than anything in a phone, and Nikki and I come up with a potential way to pay for your new phone.
It just gets weird. We're sorry. It just gets weird.
It does. It gets weird. So
sometimes if you own up to it, it's less
it makes
weird
it
than when
better.
they hear it.
Okay. All right. Well, it gets weird, guys. So you enjoy the podcast, and we will see you,
Next time. Have a good day.
Bye.
It might sound hard to believe, but there was actually too much terrible material to fit in today's Worst of the Riot. Who are we kidding? That's really easy to believe. It's the Worst of the Riot on Radio U.
If you stop by the Riot's Facebook page, I probably took what is going to end up being... do you win a Pulitzer Prize for photography? It's going to be an award-winning photo before the year is over.
Sure.
Because it's going to be about truth in art, and I was able to take a photo that spoke more truth in that small frame than I feel like anyone has ever spoken out loud.
Are you talking about your Taco Bell one?
You know that I am.
Because you took the picture of the Taco Bell sign.
Yes, I did.
That says, do not enter, because that's where you're not supposed to go into that Taco Bell. You're supposed to go in the other way.
No, that's not it. That's what makes my photo so special, is because a lot of people are like, well, that's just there because that's the exit. No, that's Taco Bell being honest with us. Taco Bell put a big sign, a lighted sign, in front of their own restaurant that says, do not enter.
A warning, if you want to call it.
Let me tell you what that is. That is truth. That's them telling you the truth. Mm-hmm. And you can see the photo there on our Facebook page.
That's at RadioU Riot on Facebook.
Taco Bell is saying, do not enter. They're like, if you do, you can win a free Xbox One X.
So what are they doing?
They're doing a promotion where, you know what started yesterday? Oh, my gosh. For every $5 double chalupa box you buy, you get a free cleanse. And
and what else?
You're registered you get a code, and then you can register to win an Xbox One. And oh my gosh, I don't know if this is, nope, it is. Okay. When you turn the Xbox on right now, it just makes like a doo-doo-doo-doo sound. For this Xbox, when you turn it on, it makes the bong.
Oh, the Taco Bell
sound.
Really, it does? How'd they do that to work?
Well, you figure they're all just
Taco
sounds.
Bell magic.
Wow. I had an Xbox that made R2-D2 sounds.
Oh, and it was the official one?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, that's something if people are interested.
The only thing I will say is that it feels like a huge scam, and I get that. You're like, man, nobody ever wins this stuff. It's all a lie. No, my friend Kevin won a PlayStation Vita from Taco Bell.
Really?
He did. It was one of those things where I was like, no, you didn't. He's like, man, I won, I'm telling you. In like
it's
a
not
week.
like you think it's a lie, but the chances are pretty slim when it's everybody who's entering in.
Especially when Taco Bell's got a big do not enter sign right there out in front.
Actually, that should help your chances, because the less people who enter, the better chance you have of winning.
So, I guess you go in, you buy a chalupa, you put that in the trash, you get the code, you register. Hopefully you win an Xbox.
Great.
Is it what?
That seems like exactly what they're wanting you to do.
Yeah,
buy the food and don't eat it.
You wouldn't eat the chalupa.
Well, no,
would
I
you?
know that. No one's saying that.
Let's not be ridiculous. By putting it in the trash, you're just sending it home.
Food fights, band interviews, Twitter fights. How else would you want to start your morning?
I feel traumatized, bruh. And now I'm tweeting about you, bruh. And now you're trending, bruh. And now your life is ruined, bruh. And now you're fired, bruh.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Hey, well, this is nice. Everybody get your hands ready. It is the Riot on RadioU. Okay, Nikki.
Yes.
Yesterday we talked about the Nightmare King.
Yeah, that is Burger King's sandwich that starts on Monday. That's kind of like their Halloween offering for the United States, where it's a green hamburger, like sesame seed bun. And then there's supposed to be a hamburger with a chicken patty, like a crispy chicken.
With bacon.
Bacon, onions, and was it mayo?
And mayo.
And that was basically like their Nightmare Halloween sandwich.
So I would for real have to drop the onions and mayo.
Well, there's never a need for mayo and onions.
There's never a need for that. That being said,
You wanted to try it.
yeah, I'm up for it. Though, here's something, we did not talk about this yesterday, but it's part of the hook. Burger King says that it is clinically proven to cause nightmares.
Why? Because of the food combination or because of the bun?
They say that I don't think they actually say why, but they say that they did a clinical study and it increased the incidence of nightmares by 3.5 times due to the unique combination of proteins and cheese.
Okay. Well, then you should have that anytime you have a hamburger. Or is it the fact that it's a hamburger and a chicken patty?
It says unique combination, so maybe it's that. Dr. Rachel Salas, Associate Professor of Neurology and Sleep Specialist at Johns Hopkins Medicine in Baltimore, Maryland, says that it's not out of the realm of possibility for the burger to give you a nightmare, though in fairness, it wouldn't just be the Burger King burger.
Well, you could just lay that on fast food. Like it could just be, that's what happens when you have fast food hamburgers.
She says basically any kind of a big meal eaten before dinner before bed can result in nightmares. Like that's actually a thing.
That's why like pizza dreams, like those are that's a real thing too.
Yeah, it sounds made up, but it's real. It's real. So I didn't catch that yesterday, that Burger King is part of their angle in advertising the burger is like, hey, this burger's going to give you nightmares.
Would you dare eat it?
Ooh.
No, actually, we're just fine because we're removing the onions and the mayo part. And again, I think that's the base of the nightmare part. So
that's the part that makes me afraid.
We fixed it.
No problem. We got it covered there. So, really, in all the fast food talk that we've had this morning, I feel like Taco Bell is more likely to give me nightmares than Burger King. But
it's a roll of the dice for any place you go.
You've got to know that Burger King's probably not that far behind.
Dude, every time you talk about Taco Bell, which he did a minute ago, unless you were just joining us, people are always like, what did they do to you? Like, what do you order to be saying that it makes you sick all the time?
I just drive past it.
And that's all it takes?
That's all it takes. I drive past and catch a whiff, and I'm like, oh, here it comes. Pull over.
I've never had anything bad or anything happen from there.
I don't normally have other people in my car. I just have a Bell bucket up front, and that's what I call the little bucket I throw up into every time I drive past the Taco Bell.
Oh, that's lovely to think about.
No big deal. Hey, if you guys have got an extra $5,000 laying around, I got something for you.
Just because this is the worst of the riot doesn't mean Obadiah and Nikki weren't trying their best. It's just that their best is really, really awful. Radio U.
It is the Riot on Radio U.
Ooh, your coffee smells good.
Does it smell good?
It does.
I can't smell it.
Are you stuffed up?
No, but like I just...
it smells nice.
I don't smell it.
Or no, it's just there's no creamer in there, so that's all the coffee.
No, it's just the coffee. It's that mocha, toasted marshmallow mocha or something like that is the bean flavor. It is good. It is good.
Anything with any hints of those flavors must be good.
Though I'll have to say, I don't know. Like I always feel like when you get a flavored coffee, it's more about the smell than it is the flavor. Because I don't feel like I ever really strongly tasted that flavor that they tell you that it is. Like if you handed it to me without telling me, all right, we're going to give Obadiah a toasted marshmallow.
You wouldn't be able to tell any of those notes in it.
We'll see if he can tell us what it tastes like. I would be like, it tastes like coffee.
Sure.
It would be the best I could do.
That's probably true.
Though the other side of that is that you can tell when coffee's good or bad. I just have a hard time picking out those notes. I feel like I've just gotten my palate refined enough that I can tell the difference between fruity and nut kind of notes in the coffee.
But it kind of ends there.
Yeah, that's about as far as I can get so far. But you know what, Nikki? There's still time. And if I would just keep drinking coffee, then
You'll learn?
Yeah, we'll be in pretty good shape. You know what? I'll tell you the $5,000 story in just a second. Also want to say what's up to John. He sent me this info since we're talking about coffee. I was going to save it for later, but you know.
Well, the time's right. Feels like it.
Coffee talk. He sent me this thing about coffee Julies. Have you ever heard of those?
Well, are you talking about the jelly things or the smoking things?
Well, no. It's not something you smoke.
Or the marshmallow things?
It's these things that you put in your coffee.
What is it?
And they were on Shark Tank. They are these little, small stainless steel capsules that contain a quote-unquote phase-changing material. So what you do is you've got coffee, right? And it's really hot. So you drop your Julies in there, and then it will cool the coffee down at first, but then it keeps it warm long term.
So is it kind of like the rocks and whiskey?
Yes.
Like similar to that approach?
Similar idea. People put chilled rocks and whiskeys instead of ice because water would water down the whiskey, but then the chilled stones will cool the whiskey without watering it down.
And I know with coffee, some people throw some ice cubes in it, but again, that waters down your coffee.
It does. So the idea...
That's interesting. It's kind of cool if you like coffee.
It is. It makes me wonder. It's kind of pricey, though. A set of 5 of them, which I don't know how many you would use at any given time. Like if you drop 2 or all 5 or whatever.
It's expensive because you're getting like the party pack. Like they're giving you other stuff.
Oh, are they?
Well,
what's the price tag you're looking at?
$80, a perfection pack, which includes it looks like a coffee grinder thing or a cup and a little bag, a commemorative bag.
All right, the one I'm looking at is $48.
Oh, maybe that's just the stones?
It has the commemorative bag, and then it has the 5 Julies.
No, this one comes with a little extra.
Now, looking at the up close of the mug, it looks like there are 3 Julies in the coffee mug that they put in there. So
it's a great idea. Again, that'd be a neat gift idea if you
you're
really
a
had a friend
lover
who loved coffee and you never know what to get them.
Yeah, man, it's fascinating. So I just want to say thanks again for sending that in. And you know what? Christmas is coming.
So you put them in there and you're supposed to not burn your tongue anymore on coffee.
That's the idea. It takes the heat out, but then it helps hold the heat in. It's weird.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Riot is a friend to everyone. I mean, they're that friend that everyone invites out of pity and obligation, but still, they've got friends. Radio U.
It is the Riot. Want to say what's up to Frog. They texted in 877-2-RADIO-U. This is a great idea. It's solid. I don't drink coffee, but I freeze chocolate bars for my hot chocolate.
You know what's an even better idea?
What?
Take your your chocolate that's frozen and put it in your coffee then.
That's a great idea,
Don't even need to put it in hot chocolate.
That's a great idea, too. You guys are like both fantastic ideas. Other great ideas, jetpacks.
Jetpacks?
We should get a jetpack, Nikki.
What would we do with it, though? You can't, take it to work, can you?
What if I... Okay,
jetpack to work.
What if I did?
Well, I don't think you're allowed to.
We don't know that, though. We'd have to do some research. But
I think
maybe
air laws would keep us from being able to.
I don't know what the laws are. So, I mean, you know what we're doing? We're saying no for ourselves.
Sure.
Before we even put the work into checking into it.
I just don't want to spend all that money and not be able to leave the yard.
So we need to do a jetpack study.
Yeah, just to make sure. And then you might be able to for a while, but the more people get jetpacks, then the more it gets ruined, and then the more rules there are.
Yeah, I don't want everybody to have them, just me.
Just you? Okay, well, is this the $5,000 thing?
It is. So I guess 3 years ago, David Mayman flew his JB-9 jetpack around the Statue of Liberty. I don't remember seeing that.
Did he get in trouble for that?
No, he is technically the only FAA certified jetpack instructor that exists. So he literally is licensed by the Federal Aviation Administration to teach people how to use a backpack. And now you can learn.
With how many payments?
For $4,950, you're going to spend the day with Mayman, and he is going to teach you how to jetpack.
Yes. Woo.
So you're going to get, first off, you're going to get a custom-made flight suit. That's cool.
And you get to keep this?
That you get to keep. And you will learn how to do takeoffs, landings, hovering, forward, backwards, and sideways flight. He says that it is as simple as riding a Segway. But, of course, they've got a few, they say, safety things set up, such as tethering, and the instructors can remote shut off the engines if they need to, et cetera, et cetera.
You just fall down then?
Well,
I don't think when you had the Segway problem, remember, we've all seen someone take a dive off those, like if they're touring the city on a Segway.
Right.
And you just land on the ground. So that's one thing. But if you're flying on a jetpack, what happens then?
Well, they might be flying over water. That's something that you'll see
Maybe
a lot
you're
of times.
required.
They end up, and the photos show this guy flying over water. So I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if the flight took place over water.
I think that's fun if that was like always your dream and you have such a large amount of money that's just disposable, but you don't even get to keep the jetpack.
What I thought was interesting, and I didn't think about it this way, is that at $5,000, it's a unique experience.
Yeah.
Because you can't
do it again unless you pay. But I mean, like, you can't keep practicing.
Right. It's not like you can just go out and pick up a jetpack.
Sure.
They're not just available down the road or whatever. So
I mean, like online, I'm sure we could rustle up something. Maybe illegal.
Well, in some states, you know how like it's legal to own a flamethrower, but in other states it's not. Maybe in some states it's legal to own a jetpack.
And there's something that you could practice in.
I'd like to pretend that I'm so excited that I'm going to go deep and research on this, but like I probably won't.
You're done with it?
Okay, but given the opportunity, if out in the parking lot right now they were like, "Hey, Nikki, no,
I don't think so.
I think I might.
No, because then you're one of those videos if something goes wrong.
Something goes terribly wrong.
It'd have to be well established that everybody can easily use in order for me to just be like, sure, yeah, let me hop on in.
Morning show host head becomes detached from body.
Yeah, I don't want to be that story.
Yeah. But think about it, it'd be the most famous that we'd ever been.
True, but again, sometimes it's better if you're not a viral sensation.
If I had a video, would you fly a jetpack in it?
What you're about to hear isn't really Obadiah and Nikki. It's two highly skilled, highly paid impersonators who are recreating the dumbest parts of the show from this week. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
It is the Riots on RadioU. Okay. Okay. You think that somebody knows you, right? You're like, man, yeah, we're BFFs. We've been together for a long time. They've read my algorithm. They've built my profile. They know me. And so this morning, Netflix sends me an email to let me know that the new season of Boss Baby is available on Netflix.
They don't even know you. That's because someone paid them
You think
to overlook who you are and what your algorithm normally is. They're like, yeah, send it to the whole list. Why don't you?
Because, Daredevil Season 3 hit today, okay?
Where's that email?
The third season of Daredevil is on Netflix, and they're like, no. Don't tell him about Daredevil.
He already knows.
He doesn't even like Daredevil. You should tell him about
Boss Baby.
Here,
I'll see if I got a notification for that one, too.
That's the one that he's into. And if you're like, the only thing I can think is that I pay for Netflix. I let my parents use my Netflix account.
Oh, maybe they were watching Boss Baby.
My parents are watching seasons of Boss Baby. Not the movie, mind you. The cartoon on Netflix. Do you think that's what's going on?
Could be. I don't have that suggestion. I got one for a cooking show, so it's different. Maybe they do think you want to watch it.
As far as I know, and I am willing to admit that there are many more things in this universe than are currently in my philosophy. I get that, right? But I don't think I've ever streamed a single Boss Baby anything. I'm not here to judge people that do.
You even watched the movie?
I'm not here to judge. No, I've never seen it.
Never seen any of it. But again, they don't really care, though, if someone has purchased the opportunity to tell everybody.
I mean, the other potential issue here, it could be that they're just like, hey, he knows about Daredevil, but does he know
about
Boss Baby?
Okay.
Does he know about it? Like, has he added it to his queue?
Because he might like it. You just never know. We like animated shows every so often.
He just feels, well, I do watch a lot of animated shows, and maybe that's it. They're just like, you know what? This guy, he actually likes Boss Baby, and he doesn't even know he likes it.
Maybe.
So we've got to tell him that he likes Boss Baby.
Now, maybe, just maybe, Netflix is confused based on your watching history, because you do like some anime, Voltron.
Yeah, I like
all
Voltron.
That stuff. It can't tell what your age is. It just can't figure it out.
I'll say that seems
it's actually
very possible.
So
very possible.
I mean, you've been known to every so often Power Rangers, all that stuff. So it just might think you're just a younger gentleman.
You guys ever notice how, like, your Netflix queue, if you look at your Netflix queue while you're in class or at work, it looks so good. It looks like there's so many movies in there that you can't wait to watch. And as soon as you get home and have some free time, you're like,
nah.
I'm not watching. That's stupid. I'm not watching that.
Well, it's there.
So Andy says, Obi, I'm so excited for the new season of Daredevil, watching this weekend.
Are you going to try to watch any of it?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you going to try to watch all of it this weekend?
I'm not, actually. I would like to stretch it out. And I realize that makes me some kind of a weirdo. But I'm not going to, let me put it this way. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. If I want to watch a ton of it,
sure,
then I will. But otherwise, like the last season of Daredevil, I stretched it out intentionally. I watched like one or two shows a day. And I feel like I enjoyed it more over the course of a week than if I had just spent my whole Saturday on it.
Now, Zach, I'm confused. He says, give it a shot, man. It's actually pretty dark. Netflix is trying to help you out, bro. Are you talking about Boss Baby?
He's got to be talking about Boss Baby,
Are you
right?
talking about something else? Because I don't know if that's actually pretty dark.
What if it is? Maybe he's saying, like, no, you don't understand. Boss Baby is really subversive.
Maybe just put it in your queue and see if you can watch one of them.
All right. He says yes. That's what he's talking about.
I think Zach is teasing.
Not a morning person? This isn't going to help.
Does this look like a group of losers?
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Seriously.
There are so many people on Earth. They say like 7 billion or something. We're probably estimating. I mean, I don't think anybody's counting. That'd be a crappy job.
It'd be a very long job.
How long does it even take to count to 7 billion?
Well, no, I think once you get to your first billion, you're like, and that seems about another, and it seems about another, and you are just guessing.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say the first billion's the hardest.
No, but, you know, when you do really well in the beginning, and then you just start rolling with the rest of them.
Okay, I get that. But, you know, with all those people on Earth, doesn't it feel like it's very easy for you to be overlooked, forgotten? You know, you're in the middle of something big, but you're doing it alone. Or maybe it's the opposite of that. Maybe you're not in the middle of anything. It's like day in, day out, get up, go to class. Nobody talks to you. Nobody notices. Nobody knows what you're going through. Just nobody knows. You feel completely forgotten. Here's something that you've got to understand today. You've got to. You have to get this through your head. No matter how you feel, no matter how things look to you right now, you have not been forgotten. God knows you and God loves you. Now, how the heck does God know you? Well, let me tell you, he's right where you are. You'll hear people a lot of times say something like, God's up there, God's out there. Nope. God's right there. All right. Take a look at an empty seat right next to you. God's right there in that seat with you. God is with you. That's how he knows what's going on. And that's how he hasn't forgotten you. He is with you. Now, God's with you, but here's the thing. You're surrounded by people that are with you, right? They know, like, if you don't show up to class, they're going to take attendance. They'll know you're gone. There's something so much more for you when it comes to God. And that is not just that he's with you, but having a relationship with you. Now, look, again, God knows you, loves you, he's there, but it's time to take this thing to the next level. It's time to start a relationship with God. Not only have you not been forgotten, God wants to be a friend to you and to be there with you. You can talk to him. He wants to talk to you. And if you haven't started a relationship with Jesus, now's the time. This is great news. You are not alone. You are important. You have been noticed. God cares. Say, Jesus, I want that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want you to be with me and show me a different way to do things. You're not alone. You matter. I don't care how much you feel like you're alone. I don't even care if you, like, people straight up tell you to your face, you don't matter, I don't care. Well, guess what? They're in the wrong, because you do matter and God does care.
You could be learning jujitsu right now, or how to drive a race car, or do anything productive with your life, but no. You're listening to the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
It is the Riot on Radio U, 877-2-RADIO-U. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always hanging out at the National Weather Service blog.
You do love it.
Just reading up on El Niños. That's Spanish for The Nino.
Reading about the storms and stuff.
So here's the deal. The United States Weather Service, who in reality doesn't really know what they're talking about, they say that we're going to see a milder than usual winter.
Now, what does that mean then? Just not as cold, not as much snow?
For the
whole country?
What you just said, yes.
Okay.
Though they say the farther into the northwest that you get, the more likely it is that you'll have a warmer than normal winter. They say no one will have again, according to them, no one will have a colder than normal winter. But again, as you move through the northwest, including Alaska, they say that you will see above average temperatures throughout the winter.
Thing. Now, they always kind of tell you what they think their predictions will be. And we'll see. Because if not, you're like, oh, it was the exact opposite of what they said.
Well, here's the thing.
We shall see what we get.
You're not going to remember. And they know that.
Oh, this moment?
You're not going to remember
this is just filling the time.
This is just us, blah, 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 whatever. So they say warmer than normal conditions are anticipated across much of the northern and western U.S., with the greatest likelihood in Alaska and the Pacific Northwest. The Southeast, Tennessee Valley, Ohio Valley, and Mid-Atlantic all have equal chances for below, near, or above average temperatures. So
that kind of covers everything we probably would have had anyway.
So in other words, if you're not in the Northwest, you'll just have winter.
Winter, that seems what they're saying. They want to say something, but they don't really have much to say, so they're just trying to make stuff up.
They just couch it in the nonsense.
This is just filling in the space of what their news stuff is.
Well, I can tell you right now, if they are going to have warmer than normal temperatures for winter, I'm in. That's fine with me.
You're fine for that?
I'm fine with me. In fact, my stance on winter in general is that I'm 100% on board for winter until Christmas happens.
And then
I'm ready to put all the Christmas stuff away and go straight to spring.
No, I understand.
That's how I feel.
I kind of, like right now, it's nowhere near, like, I just want snow, though. I just want a nice snowstorm. But I wouldn't want that if it was after Christmas.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I wouldn't even want it before, like, Christmas decorations are up. So I don't want that either, I guess.
Well, okay. You know what? We got a couple of text messages to get through, Nikki, and one of them addresses maybe something that you're talking about.
Okay, feel free to text us if you'd like, 877-2-RADIO-U anytime, but put your name there, too, so we know who you are.
Mom, I just heard my name on the radio. That could be you in just a minute.
That definitely could.
That could be you. So make sure you text. Or you can call, too, 877-2-RADIO-U. Turn it on! They're going to say my name!
He's yelling.
Before you start your day, make sure you have everything. Phone, check. Debit card, check. Radio U, check. Emergency donut. You forgot your donut. Better turn around. Radio U.
I told you if you text, we done gonna talk about you.
I liked Kelly's the most.
Kelly just says, I want my name on the radio.
Done.
Nice.
You're very welcome.
Janet says, winter equals no pollen. We were talking earlier about how winter, they say, is going to be milder this year. So winter can hang around as long as it wants. Janet, who's about to embark on her daily 90-minute drive to work in hopes that winter will also convince her employer to let her work from home.
Yes, we hope so, too. Janet, if you need a Riot, like a doctor note, but we call it a Riot note.
It's a Riot note.
Stating we believe it's in the best interest of Janet to be able to work from home this winter.
She needs to work from home, Nikki.
We will be happy to send that to you. We have embossed paper and everything.
We also hear Stacy. Oh, we're very popular with the ladies today. We were talking about that forecast. She says, I'll remember in 2013, 2014, we had a negative 30-degree wind chill. My gas was turned off as I just purchased my home and the gas company had issues with changing the gas to my name.
Oh, my gosh.
It was 30 inside my house.
Well, yeah, you'll remember that winter, won't you?
That's cold.
That stays in your memory.
That's a cold one.
I'm cold when it's like 60. Very cold. Can't imagine 30.
Andy here is bragging about the fact that he got a Daredevil Season 3 email. See, I, earlier this morning, was telling everybody that I looked at my email this morning, and instead of getting a Daredevil Season 3 email...
Now on Netflix.
Netflix emailed me a Boss Baby email.
It's confusing. Have you watched any anime lately or something, or... Did you?
I mean, have I? And
you
is
must have.
Boss Baby's not anime. Well,
it's animated though.
What did I want?
So it just might be confused.
I'm trying to think of what was the last animated thing I watched on Netflix. I got nothing.
No cartoons? No nothing?
I don't know what it was.
No sick day where you're like, oh, remember this when I was a kid? And you just watched an episode of something you don't want to admit.
I don't remember it. So, Nikki, the most important text we probably got right here, and this is the one that I'm going to need you to really participate in. It says here, and I didn't get a name for this person. I just drove past a house with their Christmas lights on.
Thoughts on that? Are you sure they were Christmas lights? Are they slightly orange, not really red? A little off?
See, I think that, I mean, they say right there, Christmas lights. So you and I have to engage the question.
We just have to go with that.
Right. If you wanted to put your Christmas lights up now and turn them on.
That's a little early. I mean, we still have Halloween, and I'm for, like, whenever we want to. Okay, guys? But you could put them up. You just don't turn them on. Because it's warmer for everybody.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Nikki says it's too early, you're screwed.
It kind of is.
Because Nikki doesn't believe in too early.
Yeah, again, whatever you guys want. Deep down, I would have put my tree up weeks ago. Like,
really?
I'm all ready for it.
I'm
not even Christmas. I'm just ready to put up my Christmas tree and to have the lights on and have some decorations.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know to wait. I know we can't do it yet.
You know what's funny is I was actually thinking on my way in this morning, I normally have like this feeling or this whatever I have like building up to in October and November or whatever. I just don't have it at all.
It's not there yet?
No, I do not have that feeling that I normally get. And all I can think about is, when do I get to take a nap? That's where I'm at now. I'm just like, you know what?
A nap next to the tree.
Sure.
With the lights on.
Sounds great.
Okay.
But I just, that carefree, oh my gosh, I love fall so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about Christmas.
You don't have it?
I don't have it. Do you know how we get that? And questions like that is how people end up taking drugs. So it doesn't matter how we get it. We're not getting it.
Maybe you need a little PSL?
I don't even want it. I'll tell you what I want.
Some peppermint.
What about a pumpkin donut?
That works. You can get one.
I feel like today I might have a pumpkin donut in my future. So
let's spend some time outside. Like today we're going to go do an event and we'll be outside, and that'll be the fall air.
Okay.
With people around, and that'll really get you into the fall spirit.
I'm ready.
If two people like that can get a job, anyone can. See, the worst of the riot can be encouraging. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
It is the riots on Radio U. Nikki, are you familiar with Smithfield?
Smithfield?
They're a food company, apparently.
They're the ones. Do they do the hams or I think it's ham.
Do they?
I think so. Or is it chickens? But yes, I think they do something.
I know that in 2006, they raised 15 million pigs and produced 6 billion pounds of pork.
Yeah, I think I saw them in like one of those food documentaries where, you know.
The last thing you want is to eat food from these people.
Yes, I think so.
Well, I'll tell you what, what I have to say right here is not going to make you feel any better about it.
Maybe it was them that was like the employee practices of they bus employees in from, and maybe they weren't all like employees, like actual ones or something. I don't know. Just lots of fun stuff.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Ham.
Bacon. Okay, here's what I got. This company, Smithfield Foods, they had to get rid of 50,000 pounds of food over the weekend.
What happened?
Well, somebody got a little peek at some surveillance video of some employees working over the weekend. And,
the weekend?
Mm-hmm. You know how the weekend is.
Weekend crew?
Mm-hmm. So here's what ends up happening. The employee, they say in the video, you can see that they take their gloves off, and then they shut the assembly line down, and then they just, they hose down the food with their own personal rinse. And then
let's just say it as it is. The person peed on the food.
They peed all over the food
on
and
the
assembly line. Yeah. Here's the part that I really like / don't like about this is that they took their gloves off first and then they put their gloves back on. Because at least they're being sanitary.
That's the sanitary part.
That helps.
Oh, so wait. Okay. So they saw on the footage, right?
Yeah.
And they stopped the food from going out, or?
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing.
Is there a chance they could ever have missed someone else doing this part?
To me, it seems guaranteed that they've missed. This person worked there for a while, so it just means that this time they got caught. How many times have they been like,
peeing on the food?
Bacon!
Putting out the fire.
I'm putting out the bacon fire.
What's wrong with
It's
people?
seasoning.
What's wrong?
It's aged.
Why can't we just have safety with our food?
We just can't. I don't. For the most part, I just don't understand people.
I don't either.
Like, I don't understand people. Even if, all right, there was somebody that I just hated them. They were the worst person in the world. I probably wouldn't pee on their food.
No.
I probably wouldn't pee in their Mountain Dew bottle.
And this is strangers, too. Like, you don't know where that food's going.
That's the other thing to me is I don't feel like I'm getting any satisfaction. Because, like, hey, I peed on your bacon. Unless I'm there to watch you eat the bacon, what am I getting out of that?
I don't understand the mentality. It's like the postman person that they caught on the doorbell ringer.
Yeah.
As he was peeing up the steps
and
putting the mail away. You're like, why are you doing that?
Like, what is this doing for you aside from, like, you don't have to go to the bathroom anymore?
I don't understand.
Which, that's a good thing. But
So they destroyed all the food.
I mean, they said they did, sure. But mostly because they got caught.
It's all the times that no one noticed.
That's what it really comes down to.
If we just care about each other, even just a little, I think we could say it'd keep us from doing that on people's food.
Nah, you know what? You say what you just said. Now, they didn't do this, but I imagine a world where they go and interview his family, and they're like, he's such a loving person. He's always putting others first.
They just had no idea this is how he
cares. That's how, like, all of that putting others first had a dark, ugly side to it.
This is it.
And he was, yeah.
All right, well, let's just not worry about it in the future, okay? Let's just not think about it.
My hope is that it just cooked out.
Well, I just don't understand.
I just hope that when I get the pork product, whatever it is, I hope it cooks out.
Please say it does.
They might not be the best morning show, but they are definitely the loudest.
Let's just say the meds aren't helping.
That's got to count for something, right? The Riot on RadioU.
The cafeteria at the high school lunchroom, in a lot of ways, you're just trapped, right?
You mean you don't get a lot of choices?
Well, I mean, you go in there and your choice really is take your lunch or eat what they got.
True, but I mean, the older you get, the more options there was.
Really?
Yeah, we had a ton.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's true.
I mean, he was like, do you want Taco Bell? Did you want Pizza Hut? Did you want Subway? Did you want their meal that they had for you? Did you want the cookies? Like, what did you want? You had all those options.
The only thing we had is, like, they would have special days. So it'd be like, there'd be Taco Bell day and, like, pizza day.
Sure.
But those were not available every day.
Yeah, no, that was more like middle school. And then our our high school, you could have more choices.
Did you have chili?
Chili?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No chili?
No chili.
Are you serious?
No, not that I recall, or I didn't go for that.
What's the point in even going into the high school lunchroom if you can't get the mystery chili?
I wouldn't think chili would be something that we would want.
Well, Nikki,
good comes from chili, even though it tastes good. It's delicious. But
it is delicious.
It seems like if there's any problems with a food item out in the wild, it's going to be chili.
Well, did you ever meet Chef Kevin?
I have not met Chef Kevin.
Well, Chef Kevin, he's the head chef there at Potter Dix High School in Nebraska. And, high school and junior high. So, like, he's in charge of both lunchrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And
he took some liberties with the meat.
Which, okay, wait, pause. When we say that Chef Kevin took liberties with the meat, what do you think?
I don't know what to think.
Like, what comes to mind for you with Chef Kevin taking liberties with the meat?
Maybe he took the meat home, like he was stealing it from the chili.
All right. Well, you know what? It's depending on your perspective, it's worse than that or not.
No, this is worse. Well, it depends on your beliefs and the fact that you just don't know what you're getting, even though you're supposed to know.
It comes down to this. Chef Kevin put kangaroo meat in the chili.
He added that to it. Didn't tell anybody. You're like, what's the problem? Well, this is Nebraska, and kangaroo meat is not normally served in the school setting. So it just wasn't what we call approved. And the parents are saying some of the kids got sick from it. And that's when they found out that he had been putting kangaroo meat in.
Well, okay. Well, I'm not sure that that's the order in which it happened. I think what happened was he served it, and then somebody in the school found out, and the superintendent found out. And then after they found out, they fired him and let parents know, hey, we just found out that there was kangaroo meat in the chili. We're very sorry. This will never happen again. Chef Kevin has been fired. And then parents started posting about kids getting sick.
No, that's the parents being like, oh my gosh, you ate kangaroo and you must be sick.
You're sick.
I doubt they even really got sick.
Yes, it feels
that's
a little random.
That's the theater of the
me.
mind with it.
I was thinking the same thing. They're like, man, that kangaroo meat is jumping up in my tummy. It's jumping bouncy, 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 bounce.
Now, if you were in a certain area where kangaroo meat was normal, then that's one thing. But you're not used to it here, and that is not what's generally served. So I do feel like that falls under the you should have been told category.
To me, like, you're probably right, but I wouldn't care. Like, if you served me kangaroo meat and I found out, I'd just be like, whatever.
No, I couldn't.
I mean, if all of a sudden it was like it was rattlesnake or it was crocodile, I'd be like, all right, hang on.
That's the same. That's because that's gross to you.
Yeah.
But
what's gross about a kangaroo? It's a bouncy cow.
I just don't like the stuff at the zoo. Like, if it's at the zoo.
They have chickens at the zoo?
No, that's the petting zoo part. That's
so
just a nod to
we can eat the petting zoo.
No, and I don't want to eat chicken, but I do.
But
I don't
have
want
to.
But I don't want to.
But when they put it in that bourbon sauce and they put it on the grill.
I just can't say no, but I can say no to kangaroo meat.
Pour it over the rice. It's good. So good.
You should tell people that. You need to tell people. It's like, what's that? I switched your decaf. Like, I switched your meat with kangaroo meat.
You lied to me!
I think we have to say something about that.
All right. Well, you know what, Nikki? I want you to know that the superintendent agrees with you.
Yeah, because Kevin's gone.
Chef Kevin is no longer Chef Kevin. He's just
Bring
Kevin.
in the Boyardee guy.
Or, as they call him now, unemployed Kevin.
Just Kevin.
He's looking for a job. A J-O-B. And you know what? I feel like there are some school districts that would be like, yeah, way to go, Kevin. Welcome to Australia.
It's like conditioning in finals. You just want it to be over, but it never is. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
It is the Riots on RadioU. Now, Nikki, let's forget that to you the most important thing about choosing a cell phone is whether or not it's an iPhone.
Yeah, all right, fine.
Let's pretend that's not a thing because I could show you many beautiful Android phones that are just as good as your iPhone.
Well, to me, it's the operating system that I have.
Love that operating system, bro.
Fist bump.
We just fist bumped.
But for me, I've always had that for most of my cell phone career, I feel like.
Yes.
So I favor it. I have Apple products for my watch and my laptop. So it's just what I go with.
Okay. What do you think is again, let's take the Apple thing off the table. What is the thing that people look at the most when it comes to buying a phone?
Screen quality, like the size, the resolution.
That's
one.
Yeah.
The camera.
So they say that the single most, according to, let's see, this study, who did the study, University of Seville and Catholic University of Northern Chile, they say that you don't care about the camera, that you don't care about the color, that you don't care about even the screen.
Is the buzz of the phone, or
you just care about if you feel like it looks pretty?
Well, sure, it's an extension of you.
That's it. They say the number one thing is they just care what the phone looks like.
But you then change that up though with whatever case you're putting on it. So I don't know if I agree with that one.
I'm just telling you what they said.
But you are a pretty phone, aren't you, Max?
You are
so pretty. You're just very nice.
You're such a handsome man phone. You are.
Very good.
So nice.
So they just say that that's what we look for the most.
That's what they say. Now, I will tell you, like me, I bought an El Cheapo. That's a new line from Motorola, their El Cheapo brand. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's Spanish for...
Is that drug lord?
The cheap. It is. No, that's El Chapo, but it's his line of phones in the United States. They're called El Cheapo.
El Cheapo.
Mm-hmm. It's probably because there's probably drugs in my phone.
It's okay.
They probably smuggled drugs in my phone, and that's how they were able to lower the cost and make it affordable.
But that's what you needed. You wanted an inexpensive phone.
Straight from the poppy fields to you, here's your new El Cheapo.
Oh my gosh, we have a whole idea, don't we?
Oh, It's perfect.
It's great.
And the dogs can't smell it because it's in the phone.
Yeah, they won't even notice.
No big deal. So, and you know what? Let's be honest. I know a lot of you that would be like, yeah, I mean, I'm okay with them smuggling drugs in my phone as long as they pass the savings on to me.
Because then my monthly price is cheaper too.
So, okay, like if I go with the drug phone, how much is it going to be every month? Or is it just one low down payment?
No, it's like when you get solar panels put on, like you make money.
Since we all know, according to the movies, that the CIA are into drug running, then we don't have to pay taxes on it.
Sure. And I will only run the good drugs.
Right.
Meaning the ones that...
The ethically sourced ones?
Yes, thank you.
I want to make sure that the people in the poppy fields are getting health insurance. Mm-hmm. We have gone so far.
Left field, I know.
So far a poppy field of like what we were...
It's fine. This is because, listen... It's Friday, guys.
It is.
It's been a long week.
It's fine.
We've all had a long week. You guys, too.
I'm not
We're
worried.
almost there to the weekend. We just have a little bit longer.
I'm a little
But
worried.
we're all a little tired.
Very.
So you just have to excuse us.
Let's just take a minute.
So wait, going back, though.
Back to the study. It says that the number one thing that people care about on their phones is whether or not they think the phone is purty.
If it looks good, then that's what we go for first.
Yeah. Like for me personally, I went for price. But if I had felt that it was too ugly, I probably wouldn't have been willing. I would have paid a little more to get the not quite as ugly. But El Cheapo here is...
That's stunning.
It's going great.
For the price, that's a full, it's a whole package right there.
Yeah.
Looks good. It was a good price.
Only $240.
That's so inexpensive. And it's not right that that's so inexpensive.
So let's see. I had to buy a new phone because my old one broke. I had to get a new car battery, and I got to buy a new furnace. It's great.
You're doing great.
It's perfect.
Think Obadiah owns too many video games?
Get us out of here. Roger that.
Well, maybe you'll think differently when... Okay, you're right. There's no conceivable scenario where anyone needs that many. The Riot on RadioU.
Big Mamas and Papas. They're a pizza chain. It's in...
pizza chain?
Yeah, it's in California. Let's see. They've got 6 of them. They've got 19 locations, 6 of them in L.A., and I guess it just depends on where you're going. But they have the world's largest deliverable pizza.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, obviously there are big pizzas out there that, you might be able to go pick up. But this is the largest deliverable pizza. 2,916 square inches this pizza is. Enormous pizza.
How do they deliver it?
Well, they have a custom fitted car
that it goes into.
Yep.
Oh, it looks good.
It does look good, doesn't it?
It looks so good.
Wow, it takes up a whole pizza oven. I know. I love pizza. Sign me up. Which, by the way, saying I love pizza is like, it's kind of dumb because doesn't everybody love pizza?
It'd be good for a party.
Yeah, it's too big even for that.
Oh, really?
I mean,
well, no. Some people have
a big party,
office parties, or big parties, or more friends than we have party.
Okay, that's fair.
So it might actually be just the right size.
Our staff is a little small.
How long does it take, or how much money is it?
It is $300, and it is 4.5 feet on each side.
You could get it for the floor, for all your roommates and stuff, for the dorm.
Sure.
That'd be fun.
Hey, man, I forget about it. I want it for me. That really is pizza for the week.
Yeah, but when you get pizza for your friends, and you're right, they never end up paying you for their part of it. This is too expensive of a pizza to not have your friends pay you back for.
Man, that is the absolute truth, right? So, yep, $300, and they do have an awesome, I guess it depends on which one, but in this particular case, they've got a little, what are those, Echo cars or whatever, the tiny little eco-friendly whatever, and it has a huge thing mounted on the top of it
to take
that the pizza will fit in. Yeah.
Well, cute and fun.
Yeah. The biggest pizza I think I've ever bought, there's a pizza place near me that does a 24-inch pizza, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, let's go big.
You're like, I'm really hungry.
Let's just do it.
Well, that's fine with pizza, though. You could technically get this and just eat for, freeze the rest and just eat forever.
Freeze the rest? 3 days.
Well,
you got to believe in yourself.
Not that many
What do
pieces.
they say? That every pizza is a personal pizza if you believe in yourself?
If you try hard enough.
So
you don't need any other people. If you just want to order the biggest deliverable pizza, you can do that.
I'll take it. Right over here, sir. You know what? We'll just go pep and sausage. The sausage is there because I plan on getting sick later.
Here we go. We're not saying this is going to be the worst thing you've ever heard, but on a scale of Charlie horse to agonizing death, it's a solid migraine headache. The worst of the Riot on Radio U.
I might need to bust out the virtual reality headset again this weekend. I haven't played with VR in a while, and I've had a hankering to.
Someone sent us someone else's video on, what was the Beat Saber one that you did?
Mm-hmm.
And when I watched that, I thought, oh yeah, do you even do Beat Saber anymore?
I haven't played
Do you even Saber?
Do you even Beat Saber, bro?
That's what that sounds like, but...
I haven't. I've certainly have played it, but it's been a long time since I played it. That game was a ton of fun. And the thing, though, is I keep seeing all of these specialty VR experiences that aren't coming home. They're at an arcade or at a place. There's some place, I think, in Texas that just brought the Mario Kart VR from Japan to the United States. I would love to try that. There are these... I can't even remember the name of them, but they have them at the Disney's. What do you call Disney Springs?
Yes.
And then there's one in Texas where our friend of the show, Honey, lives.
Yeah.
You remember her? She's got one near her house, and then there's one near Disneyland. And it's a VR company where you go in, and it's like a VR experience that happens in multiple rooms. And so that's supposed to be really awesome. They have a Star Wars one, a Ghostbusters one, and a couple of other ones. I'd love to try that, even though... it's not near me.
Well, you're not there, but there's this arcade that people keep telling us about here that's more of a Japanese style arcade.
Yes.
Maybe they would do more of the
Something
virtual
like that.
reality stuff. Maybe.
Well, I'm also hoping there's this entertainment complex that's opening near us next year or in 2 years. They made a big announcement. It's huge. I've actually been hoping maybe they would have
something
one of
along those lines.
VR destination places. Because, again, it's super cool at home, but I think what they're offering sounds even cooler. And they just made a Godzilla one.
Well, that has you written all over it.
It does. And at first I was like, dude, does that mean you get to be Godzilla? That's not it. You are fighting Godzilla.
Oh, why do we always have to fight Godzilla? He seemed nice in the one movie.
It seems cooler to maybe be Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
But
you could just step on everything.
Yeah. Think
Swish
about how
your
great
tail,
that is.
one tail flick, and it all goes away.
Think about how great is you're reaching out, hitting buildings, and then maybe you hit a button and you're like, "Rrr."
Maybe, by the way, nice Godzilla.
I don't have a good Godzilla,
It's
all right?
more of a, it's got to be higher pitched.
See, that felt more like Rodan to me.
It did? Which one's he?
He's the big
Mothra or the
pterodactyl looking one.
That guy. But for maybe the Godzilla thing will be an expansion pack or something, or a thing later added onto it.
Yeah. I mean, there is some kind of a home VR thing that has...
Godzilla?
No, but it's like a Godzilla ripoff.
Wait,
where
practice
you're like,
it.
I'm a giant... No, man.
That's more like a jungle bird.
I know. But he has that high-pitched... You know what?
Let's do high-pitched, but in the throat. No. Those are birds. Take it out. Not in there. That made it worse. That made it worse.
Good one, Nikki. You nailed it. You really nailed it. That's the one. That's the one. Guys, is Godzilla in here? Is he here?
I am going to be working on the new movie.
Sounds like Toucan Sam has been drinking.
Okay, it's fine. That wasn't right. That wasn't right. The other ones were better. That wasn't
But you know
right.
what? You have to experiment.
You gotta
You have to
practice.
explore the space.
No one's perfect the first time. You really have to keep working at it. So we're going to come back on Monday and we'll try again.
I'm sure we'll have it.
Yes, we'll have it by then.
We'll have it by then.
Darn it. We weren't close at all.
Oh, no. We were. We just got to work on it some more.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast. Make sure to check out The Riot weekday mornings from 6 to 9 Eastern on Radio U at RadioU.com.
It's Friday.